Billy Wagner brings a determination and intensity to this team that is deeply rooted. Take, for example, when he was about 5 or 6 years old, a friend broke Billy's right arm, not once, but twice. That's when he started throwing left-handed, thus spawning the southpaw we know today.
If I can execute my pitches, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat you.
He's as blunt as he is confident, a trademark Billy Wagner says of his upbringing in rural Virginia. So you'd never think this.
Is it true you still get nervous when you go on the mound?
I am a wreck. I'm walking in the bathroom gagging, and then when I step on the mound, it kind of clicks for me.
Struck him out.
And watch out, because the Mets' new closer is clocked into the triple digits, making him part of an elite class a la Nolan Ryan.
Wagner gets a strikeout.
Acquired from the Phillies for $43 million, Wagner will anchor the bullpen for at least the next 4 years. But he's much more than just a powerful arm or a nervous Nelly, as we discovered on our journey south one snowy February weekend.
I shovel just as much as I have thrown baseballs.
Country boy.
The 34-year-old lefty lives on this 140-acre farm near Charlottesville, Virginia, where he is husband to college sweetheart Sarah and father to Will, Jeremy, and Olivia, who has Daddy wrapped around her little finger.
If I give you a piece of bubble gum, will you go in there? Yes.
Wagner also raises alpacas, 17 on this farm alone. Interesting-looking animals known for their fur, softer than cashmere.
Your money-making breeds are Koya. They're the white ones over there. That's how I get my exercise. You got to get them in here. Once in a while, you got the one-on-one.
Country boy.
His game room is like a shrine to those that precede or share his stage.
I mean, I've never been in the World Series. I've never done the things Mariano's done. I've never had the opportunity. I'm just asking for one try.
Wagner's pursuit for greatness began in the tiny town of Tannersville, population 323. Born to teenage parents, his childhood was not easy, and baseball became a relief.
Farming, that's what you did. If you played any sports, you were taking the hike from 30 to 45 minutes over the mountain.
To Tazewell and his high school field. Wagner's baseball coach Lucian Lou Peary tells us when he could not make it to practice,
he was throwing out in the field just to himself and then going and getting the ball and throwing it back or throwing it off the barn wall and retrieving it.
Wagner is no stranger to adversity. At the age of 5, his parents divorced, and from that time on, he was shuffled from relative to relative, living in various towns from Lynchburg, Virginia to Colorado Springs, Colorado. He attended 15 different schools, collected food stamps, and at times knew what it was like to go without a hot meal.
Going through all the hardships as a child, it's easier for me to look back and go, well, what I've gotten in front of me is not as difficult as what I've had before.
It really wasn't even fair. I mean, when Billy pitched against you, half the team was scared to death. Half of us couldn't even see it coming in there. And for example, when we played in the championship game, he struck out 19 of us in a 7-inning game.
Eric Robinson is Wagner's best friend and best man. He played for Tazewell's rival, Graham High School.
No matter what he was doing, he wanted to be the best.
In 1990, the two became teammates at Ferrum College, where Wagner also played cornerback, until a coach told him,
I don't want you coming out. He goes, you got a real gift and you can really do great things in baseball. Hello.
In 1993, the Astros made Wagner their 12th pick.
I'm an Astro.
And called him up to their 40-man roster May 16, 1995, a day after his wife's father and stepmother were murdered. Again, Wagner persevered. The All-Star now uses his past to help the future. Robinson and Wagner opened the Second Chance Learning Center in Bluefield, Virginia last fall, which provides free mentoring and counseling to at-risk children.
And I'm willing to say, hey, if you can keep your grades up and do well, I'll put you through college.
Friend Greg Carter says he remains an inspiration back home because Wagner is the same old guy.
One of the quotes that I like from him is that, you can't take the country out of him.
That's obvious.
Come on, boys.
Not just in his southern drawl, but in his charm and honesty. When we wanted to find out a little bit more about Billy, he was a kid, no pun intended.
Hiking or Xbox?
Xbox.
Lord of the Rings or Gladiator?
Gladiator. For whatever reason, after I watch him, I feel like I'm that guy.
Skiing or surfing?
I've never done either because that would void my contract, Mr. Wilpon, which I'd never do.
For now, he'll just keep batters off balance.
If I can execute my pitches with a good fastball or a bad fastball, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat you.
Country boy, how I wish I was in your shoes.
Carlos Beltran hits every ball as if a World Series title depended on one swing. Or just one pitch. A drive that led the New York Mets to make him their $119 million man.
I work out from Monday to Friday every single day. We do a lot of plyometric exercises. For my position, being center field, I gotta be quick just to run down balls on the outfield.
Beltran began his transition to the Mets in the same town where he dreamt of baseball greatness, his birthplace on April 24, 1977, Manatí, Puerto Rico. A rural community along the north shore of the island is said to be named for the many manatees in its waters.
The people that know you, they don't know you as Carlos, right?
No, they know me as Ivan. My middle name. In Puerto Rico, Manatí, all over the Puerto Rico, right now people see me like, I don't know, I'm a ghost or something, they have never seen me before.
Is that weird to you?
A little bit, because in the past few years, people used to know me, but not like the way it is right now.
The headline said Beltran triumphed when he was signed to the Kansas City Royals in 1995. He soared 4 years later when he won the American League Rookie of the Year award. Now other big leaguers check him out. And younger players absorb his moves while taking batting practice at the Irán Bithorn Stadium in San Juan. A true 5-tool player, he can hit for average, hit with power, run, field, and throw, leading one former teammate to dub him Superman.
Celebrando y él serio.
We celebrated and he remained serious, is the way Beltran's Little League coach Miguel Fernandez describes the tiny 5-year-old who began playing on the team of 7- and 8-year-olds.
When I was a kid, I was a shortstop, but when I was 14 years old, I just decided to move to the outfield.
Back then, a trip to the nearby beach, Mar Chiquita, served as a motivating factor. But even then, Fernandez, pictured here next to Beltran, says the boy was focused.
After school, I used to go to the ballpark by myself, working out, hit the balls, do a lot of things by myself. People thought I was crazy, but the thing was, I just wanted to be someone. I just wanted to help my family, and I really thank God that He gave me the opportunity to do that. Last year, I bought a new home for my parents.
The dedicated player is also the consummate family man.
When the season is over and I come back to Puerto Rico, it's difficult for me to leave the island because I spent so many time without my family.
Le gusta comer mucho arroz, habichuelas, chuletas.
And when he comes home, his parents, Carmen Valdez and Wilfredo Beltran, say their son loves a plate of rice, beans, and pork chops.
Era cómico.
His parents insist he's the jokester of the group, the middle child who likes to tease his younger twin sisters, Liz Marie and Marilis, and older brother Nino, who played in the Puerto Rican League.
I always beat him too.
14th of February of 1998 was our first day. Went out for 5 days, and then he go back to Wilmington, and we start talking by the phone every single day, like for 10 times. So it was fun.
Young sweethearts, Beltran and his wife Jessica dated while he was in the minor leagues. They've been married for 5 years.
Do you have a person that you idolized when you were growing up?
Well, first of all, here, Roberto Clemente from Puerto Rico, he was one who, opened the door for a lot of American players. I always looked up to Bernie Williams, and when I was growing up, I always wanted to be like Bernie. So when I saw myself in '99 playing in the big league with Kansas City, and we were facing the Yankees, it was a dream come true for me.
Williams inspired the right-hander to hit from both sides of the plate.
Being a switch hitter is no excuse for the man to take you out of the game, so you got to play the whole game.
Did you teach yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself. A lot of work and a lot of swings.
It's one of the skills that has already earned Beltran a spot in the Museum of Sports in Puerto Rico, among the long line of players from Borinquen who have made their mark. But Beltran feels he has more to prove, and he'll do so, but keep a tradition.
I like to use 2 gloves, one for home games and the gray one for road games.
And he'll remember his cherished island. Beltran plans to help make the park near his house into a mini stadium, and will continue providing little leaguers in Manatí with tools for success.
We bought gloves, bats, helmets, batting gloves to give to each kid, and equipment for them to continue to play the game. I will be in a big market, or probably the biggest market in sport, but
feel proud and be happy to be in a stage like that because at the same time I can show the world who is Carlos Beltran or what Carlos Beltran is capable of doing.